Hi everyone, welcome back to the Model3man channel. Now if I were to ask you, which company puts the most love and attention and care and devotion to high quality aesthetics, functionality in the making of Model 3 accessories, what name comes to mind? Well, there are a lot of companies that do, and accessories come in all sorts of flavors and shapes and sizes. But in my book, it's JEDA, J-E-D-A. They put more care and attention to detail, attach more importance to design and functionality than any of the other companies I know. I got an irate email from one of my channel followers who said to me, "Your credibility is gone. How are you going to make up for your loss of credibility?" And I said, "Why? What did I do?" "Well, I haven't received my JEDA product yet." So let me assure you, we're going to review today the two new JEDA offerings, the USB hub and the wireless charging pad. I am not responsible for when it reaches you. However, I can tell you that they now have supply. So if you own a Model 3, they've basically said that they can ship within 2 to 3 days of the order. If you have a Model Y, the delay is longer. So that's it. We're first going to look at the USB hub. We're going to look at the wireless charging pad. Both of them constitute significant upgrades from the earlier versions that were out. By the way, if you do want to get one of these, please use the link below, which does help our channel. But please note, they do have a discounted offer that ends Sunday the 13th. So this episode will be going up on Saturday the 12th. If you want one, get in your order before that discount expires. Let's get right down to it and take a look at the new products. Just before we look at the two JEDA offerings, I do have to say one thing. I had occasion last week to take down two posts, not because they were insulting, but because they expressed in no uncertain terms very strong and somewhat derogatory political opinions. Now, in today's environment, and especially with the election coming up in the United States, there is in my book nothing more divisive and corrosive than politics. In the old days, it used to be religion. You didn't mention religion. But now we all come to accept that everyone can follow the religion they want, and we don't really get too upset about it. But politics, it's the one thing you will not see on my channel. And if you're saying to me, well, who do you support? Do you support Biden or Trump? Well, I'm in Canada, so there's no point in supporting either. I would say this, for all the folks out there that having thought through the issues and having thought through reasons for supporting or not supporting, if you've decided to support Joe Biden in this election, I respect that opinion. If you've decided to support Donald Trump for a second term, I respect your opinions. See, it's politics. Why should we not still respect each other while at the same time disagreeing politically? And we can disagree strongly. But you don't come to this channel for political opinions. We're not using this channel to divide followers into pro and anti groups of whatever type. So anytime I see a post that is a political diatribe or opinion or some derogatory statement, it's out of here. It goes. And I respect every one of you and your political choices and opinions as well. So now let's get down to the review of products. So first of all, JEDA Hub. So we're going to open it here. It's typical Apple-style boxing where the lid doesn't come off easily. You have to lift it and it kind of floats out. And there it is. There it is. It looks pretty similar to the old one. At the back, you've got the two USB-A ports. At the front, you now have 5 USB ports. 3 that are USB-A and 2 that are USB-C. So the older version that I had only had 2 USB and 2 USB-C, making for a total of 4 on the front and 1 inside. So, of course, we're going to take a look at this inside here, and you'll see that there's a little magnetic piece right there. There's a little connector over here, but we'll take a look at those. And let's put the cover back on. So we'll just put it back in the box for now. There is one additional USB-A, in other words, traditional connector, inside that hidden chamber, inside that compartment. And that is for whichever type of drive, flash drive or SSD drive, you elect to use for the dash cam footage. Why does it have to go there? Well, it's hidden. It's a hidden compartment. It'll be safe because there's no person who breaks into cars who's going to know what to look for, where to look for it when they look at your USB connector. If they even get that deep into the console, they're not going to see any way of opening it. It's not going to look like it does open. It just has a lot of connectors with cables going in and out. So that's a very, very neat feature. Now, two of the USB-A connectors on the front of the USB hub would be used for whatever wireless charging pad you elect to go with. We'll be looking at the JEDA charging pad in a moment. Now, here's the unique thing about a JEDA USB hub. All of the ports, all 6 of the ports, offer both power and data. In some of the older versions, some of the ports had power, but they didn't offer data connection into the car. Right now, all 6 of those connectors offer data and power. At the time of going to press, this was the only USB hub on the market that did that. That may change in the future, but for now, it's unique, and the JEDA USB hub offers both. Here's an important caveat. This particular USB hub is only intended for Model 3s that were manufactured before June of 2020. All of those Model 3s that have 2 USB-A connectors. So when you lift up the flap and you look down the front, if there are 2 USB-A connectors there, then this particular hub is good for that. So in a minute we'll take this into the car and we'll go and have a look at how easy or difficult it is to install. Spoiler alert, it's pretty easy, but I'll show you how we do it. This is the JEDA wireless charge pad, and we're going to take it out of the box and just have a look at it. And once again, not easy to open, but takes a while. There it goes. Okay, now one thing that is very different from the previous version that I was using was that the only orientation you could put your phones was portrait. They went up like that. With this one, the phone can go sideways. Any app that runs horizontally in your phone, you can now put the phone horizontally and still have it charge. That's pretty cool. So let's look at the specs on this new wireless charge pad. So the first thing to note is that there is a larger area over which charging is active. And why is that important? Well, phones differ so much in size and configuration and shape. The large Samsung phones, and now we're going to be getting the 6.7-inch Apple iPhone 12 Max Pro. This will account for those larger sizes. Charging area is extended when compared to previous charging pad versions. The new version 3 of the wireless charging pad, because this is the V3, version 3, also comes with a spacer. And that allows for wired connections. You know, maybe some of the people that drive in your car or your guests or even your own phone is not wireless at this point in time. What's also nice is that on the back side over here, you've got 2 USB micro connectors or micro USB connectors. And the ones that they provide are pretty short, and they're large enough, of course, to go down to the USB-A connectors on your hub. But some of you folks out there, some enterprising folks, have decided that it's better to connect the charge pad to the 12-volt socket because it doubles the charging speed. It goes from 7.5 watts to 15 watts. If you want to do that, all you do is take off the mini cables that they've put here, go get yourself 2 longer cables with the micro USB, and then you can connect that right into the power socket, which will give you double the charge rate. To me, that's not that important. It charges fast enough anyway. Your charge rate is 7.5 watts if you're using these connectors going to the USB-A ports. It's going to be 15 watts if you take it to the 12-volt power socket. The TPE rubber that they're using on the surface of the wireless charge pad is incredible. It really does grip. If I just push my fingers, it does not slip. Okay, you get the idea. This is beautiful. It really does grip. Clean, beautiful job. Notice that the 4 little positioning studs here will fit into the base where you install it in the car, and I'll demonstrate that, but it's just designed so well. So the edges are black, so it looks continuous. Red doesn't mean anything, but it looks cool. So we're going to take these now, go and look in the car and install them and see how easy or difficult it is to do that. So the first thing we want to do is just to demonstrate where everything's going to be going. So you lift that flap up. There we go. Right at the back is the old USB hub, which had only 2 USB-A and 2 USB-C ports. Wireless charge pad cables go into the USB-A and feed the pad up above. I'm just going to quickly remove all of that so we can take a closer look at the old one, and you can see that there were 2 USB-A, 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A inside the hidden compartment. By the way, here is a very useful SSD drive. Samsung SSD T5 has a 500 gigabyte capacity USB-C connector, which of course connects with that. So this is the old one. We're going to replace that now with the new hub. So you can clearly see the difference here with 3 USB-A ports and the 2 USB-C. I'm going to pop the bottom corner and lift up the flap that encloses the hidden compartment, and there you see it there. So that is going to connect to that. At the very front end of the console are 2 USB-A ports that came with the car, obviously, and we're going to connect the 2 USB-A connectors on the back of JEDA's hub, and they're going to go straight into there. Now, because it's a two-hand job, I'm not going to film me positioning it, but I'll show it to you once it's in place. It fits very nicely right up against the front end of the console. To the average person who's opening the flap, you don't even see it. Now, as you can see, I've removed the old wireless charging pad from here, and if we were going to physically wire some connectors over here, we would of course make use of the additional clip that they've given us. And where would that go? Well, we'd have to lift this up, slide that off, and you can see that it would go right there. So our next step is to take the wireless charging pad. You can see that there are 2 micro USB connectors there, and here are the 2 micro USB connectors from the supplied cables that are going to go into there. So that's the end result. Cables fit snugly into place, and all I've got to do is take the other end of the cable, these 2 USB-A connectors, and push them through those holes. You see them over there? So I'm going to rest the pad on here, and notice, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4 positioning tabs or positioning recesses, and these 1, 2, 3, and 4 will fit exactly into those positioning tabs. So it'll be held nice and snug, and the cables will go down through there. Once you've done that, the charging pad lies nicely on the flap. Underneath it here, you can see the 2 USB-A connectors that I'm going to plug straight into the USB-A connector on the hub. There it is. The wireless charge pad uses the 2 USB-A connectors. This is beautiful. This really works well. Watch as I put each of these phones down in different positions. You can see the charging icon come up in the top right corner of the phone screen. So here we go. Putting it onto the left panel. Charging. Turn it sideways, put it down, and there you go. Charge light comes on. So as you can see, installation presents 0 challenges. It's very easy. It's very straightforward. It's just a kind of a plug and play. There is one thing I omitted to mention, and I found that out to my cost. I was busy putting both phones onto the pad when one of them slipped down over the edge and dropped into the storage well below. The spacer is there whether or not you're going to add cables. That little plastic spacer needs to be added on top of the existing assembly. So you add that spacer and then you put the shiny plastic surface on top of it. You do that whether or not you intend to put cables. Why? so that it raises the lip a little higher and your phone doesn't just slide off and drop into the storage well below. So if you want either of the two or both of them, get them before Sunday night, before midnight on Sunday. And if you'd use the links below in the description, then the channel benefits as well if you should happen to purchase it. Thanks for your support of the channel. Thank you for those who use my referral code, the Tesla referral code, which gives you 1,500 free kilometers or 1,000 miles. Those of you who donate through PayPal, I'm always especially grateful to you. Thank you for that. The donation link is here if you feel in a position to support the channel that way. And until then, till the next episode, look after yourself, keep safe. I will see you then. Cheers for now.